Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Still morning, huh? So thank you for coming. And the ones that were here before really need a stress relief lecture. But because the guy was talking about all the burglary and all these things, and so my goodness, I need a stress management now. My name is Dr. Dos Santos. I teach in the School of Public Health in Loma. And one of my topics that I teach my students is stress management. So that's what I'm here. I hope I can help you. The last time I gave a stress speech was in the city of Yucaipa. We have 4 people in the audience, and one of them was so stressed out that was hard to give that speech for a small group, and then that lady needs a little more than just stress management. So, so I'm not here to solve all your problems. I'm trying to focus on what is stress in the beginning and how to cope with the stress. That is normal. Everybody has. Who does not have stress? Otherwise, you would not be here. But it's something that we are, life stress is life. And then sometimes we have more stressors because of crisis and separation and situations, death and diseases. Sometimes we don't have that many, but we create them. We create the situations, and sometimes we are in the middle somewhere. What is stress? So let's go to the first one. There is a stressoscope. Find out what your day will be like. Go back to bed, please. You are going through a stressful time, but things will get better. Pretty soon you won't have any money left to worry about. So what is in your mind is stress? I can accept a couple of answers here. What is stress in your vision? Go ahead.
I'm just not clear on the question.
What is there? I know, I don't. I am from Brazil. My English is complicated, so. Life? Okay. Okay. Work, relatives, change, teenage. I mean, job, the boss, huh? The boss. I used to work in Hong Kong for 6 years, and then we have a terrible boss there. And between the workers, we always look for and talk bad about that and say, we need to change, we need another one. And then one time I told them, how about if the other one is going to be worse? And nobody talked about that. And in 2 years they changed, and the other guy was terrible. Some of our friends were fired, and it was a mess. And then one time we were discussing, you know what? We cannot be in this business of changing bosses because it doesn't work very well. So we might need to have something else, do something else about that. Well, we'll get there. But you got the idea, stress, how stress is affecting all of us. I will just go fast on this part here of stress definition. That's the more common one that we accept scientifically, is the non-specific response to an aggression, to any demand made upon it. So, in fact, stress is a reaction of us, that we do when we are faced some challenges in life. So much for that. I would say that I used to have an alligator in that, but we don't have alligators in California. So, yeah, we do in your pool, huh? Some pools around have some alligators, but rattlesnake is a little more. But I figured out that this audience was women, and sorry about that. My grandmother could not even see this picture. But But when you face a situation as a rattlesnake, you have all of these things. You have cortisol that will be released and other stress hormones. But this is normal in a right situation. It's important to have this because then you will have more energy. You are gonna climb a tree. You're gonna jump a fence. You're gonna have strength to get a stick, and all of these things will happen to you. Then quickly it goes away. These hormones goes to normal levels, and you are okay. However, cortisol, if you are facing rattlesnake 24/7, then you have a problem. Then you have cortisol up, and does not go away. And that's where you have these problems. You have high blood pressure, you have lipids, blood sugar, and your appetite goes up. Sometimes your appetite goes down. Most of the times go up. The immune system goes down, and then you are depressed, you are anxious, you are whatever. It can affect, I would say that it does not cause those things itself, but will be a toll on the top of that. So let me give an example. Is a obese person, obese guy, does not do exercise, he eat a lot of junk, smoke and drink a lot. And then he faces the rattlesnake all day long. So that's a prescription for complication. You know, nothing is good. So stress will make a big difference if we have situations like that. So this is mostly what is that stress is related to in response to the immune system, to migraines, peptic ulcers, the irritable bowel syndrome, hypertension, heart disease, asthma, and then allergies, AIDS, and cancer, and lupus, and arthritis. Again, I'm not saying that stress causes those things primarily. By the way, most of those things are not caused by one only factor. This is a multiple factory diseases related mostly to what? Yeah, to stress, but to your lifestyle. And now we don't know what's the chicken and what is the egg, because your lifestyle will affect your stress will affect your lifestyle, and then you go in a circle. That's why we have to make a break. And I have told many ladies today that one thing that women need is to have a time for themselves. And the fact that you are here is good, because here you are taking care of yourself. You have family, you have kids, you have husbands, and you have houses to take care. But if you don't take care of yourself, my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen there. And I don't know what's going to happen to you. So you have to set up this time for yourself. You have to set up activities that you can, it's just for yourself, frequently. You have to set up relaxing activities that are important for us to balance the stress of life. Most of the time, these things happen because the sympathetic system is in action, like the cortisol, the noradrenaline, and norepinephrine, and all of these hormones are up. But there is this acetylcholine that is the parasympathetic system that needs to be in the same balance with the activities that we have during our daily life. And this sympathetic system is put to action when we do relaxing activities, when we do massage, when we do meditation, when we sleep, when we read a good book, when you use humor, when you use music, and this is the things that we are going to talk later, okay? Let's go move forward because I don't have much time. This is getting on my stress. We have 4 things that we are going to focus. First is the stress perception. And I mentioned to several people today that stress starts here. And sometimes we perceive the things And for some other people, it's not the same. Is that we create the aggression. And people say something to us and I say, what do you mean by that? Are you thinking about that I'm doing this or I'm not doing this? And then we are creating, and the person, no, I didn't say anything. I'm okay. You're doing a good job. Then dealing with the stressors, increasing your coping skills and spirituality and stress. In fact, the 3 and 4 is mostly the focus of this lecture. I just cannot go there without mention what is happening in the other ones for you to have an idea. So how do I perceive the aggression and the stressor? So we have the blind man that touched the elephant, and you know about that. What I didn't know is that I heard another lecture, another guy saying that there was one extra guy that was touching some mushy things in the floor. And some elephants are like, they stink. So sometimes we have a vision of something according to our scope of understanding things. And we go on life based on that. And unless we try to see somebody else's opinion or see somebody else's life experience, we go by that and we crash with everyone around us because we think about that. So we should be a little more open to other opinions and respect other opinions. It's not that you are going to change and follow the flow all the time, but at least you respect the person that differs from you. And learn to see, well, maybe I never heard your view on that, and then try to see the complete picture. So if you are working and you have a problem in your job and you don't like your boss, how many don't like their bosses? Oh, so don't raise your hand because the boss might be around. But this is a common thing. I mean, I remember I have a patient that have a problem with the boss, and then he would get ulcers because he was an editor in a magazine, and he would write. He was an artist. He would make a good cover for that magazine, and the boss will come and boom, put his name on that. Oh man, this guy, the ulcer, and. Because he didn't know how to manage that. Okay, so you have to be honest. You have to talk to the guy. I mean, don't react and swallow. You have to go there and talk to the guy. And so this is something that is not honest. I mean, you are running for a problem because even you can sue a person for that. But he was swallowing, and then he ended up with a big ulcer. He went to I should not go in the sad stories. I keep doing that. But ended up that he had a transfusion, blood transfusion, and got AIDS. And that's a separate thing. So this was maybe 30 years ago in Brazil. So you can imagine that. But sometimes because we cannot handle the things, I would say, you are working. How many people depend on you? So you have to put food on the table. And how many people you just think about your relationship with the boss, but if you leave, I mean, other people are going to have a trouble, and they might need you on that job. And you are worthy on where you are. Can you consider that? Can you consider that you are going to change the job and you find a worse boss? So you see, there are several things. We are not in a perfect world, so we have to handle those things and have a little more openness for that. The perception of things are like that. So people see this old lady, but if they turn upside down, they would see this lady. It's the same picture. So it's just a twisted view of the thing. Yeah. So dealing with the stressor, or try to change the stress. So this is the most difficult part. Most of the time we cannot change people. How many of you are able to change somebody else? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. We want to change people, and the business of changing people, I mean, even the psychiatrists have a hard time with that. Man. So, but I keep saying this, that the way that you can somehow control your stressors, it is develop a balanced life. Equilibrium. You put time for exercise, time for sleep, and a good time for work, and time for relaxing activities. People erase the relaxing activity. They don't have a hobby or something like that. And then work with your priorities. So what is more important for you in life? Sometimes I remember one of the guys that came to me and said, well, my priority is my family. And he has a PVC factory, and he developed 4 or 5 factories in the country for producing that. And then I told him, well, but I talked to your wife, and she said that you are never home. So is it your priority? And well, but I have to make up and put food on the table. That's what I'm working, okay? So what happened? He ended up divorcing. He has a wife and a daughter, just that. And he focused on the work, excuse me. He was not focused on the family. Quality time is something important. Quality time is spending time with someone and being with someone, not on Facebook. Facebook is okay, but spending time with someone, and that's what we need. I mean, and talking and sharing ideas and chatting. This is quality time. Okay, let's go to the coping skills. And if you have stress, like if you have a boss, if you have a work that you really don't like, so you should develop some extra activity for you to relax. I remember a friend of mine, he was a pathologist in Brazil, and he used to work in the same hospital that I was working, and one day he was doing an autopsy on a kid. And I was talking to him, and I was assisting on that part, and very distressful, because he has kids, and I had kids, and we were talking, and then I asked him, how are you doing, I mean, in life? And he said, well, I'm doing drama classes. I say, the guy is crooked. I mean, this is a drama class. This is a pathologist. This guy is a physician here doing drama class. What's going on here? Then I didn't ask anything. I just continue here, and then I said, Hildemar. My name is Hildemar. With this kind of life, we have to have something outside. Because we get crazy here if you just work with sickness and death and diagnosis. We need to have something, and that's what when I do my drama, I am myself, and I can spend my energies. I can release my cortisol. Do you have drama classes? Well, you have too much drama. Okay, it's okay. But I mean, we need to have some of those things to release our stress, to release our things, and that's what we are going to talk. So I don't know why I put this picture there, practical, enjoyable exercise, and I was checking that to the yesterday night and say I'm going to change this. So no, I'm going to leave that picture there just to talk about, because it does not sound enjoyable to me. It does not seem so enjoyable. You put a bunch of things. One day a guy came to me and said, "Doctor, I don't have time for exercise." Well, tell me anything new about that. And nobody has time for exercise. And then I asked him, okay, and I don't have money to pay the gym membership. Okay, well, I'll tell you, many of my clients, they have money to pay the membership, and they pay the membership, and they don't do anything with that. It's just paid. So I asked him, do you have kids? Yeah, I have one 6 years old and an 8 years old boy. And I say, okay, so tomorrow, prescription. You go to Walmart and buy a soccer ball, because they are Hispanic, Latinos, and Brazilian, whatever here, and buy a soccer ball. and then the prescription is that play with the kids 30 minutes per day. Can you do that? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. But don't I need to do exercise? I mean, strength exercise, stretching exercise, aerobic exercise, and say, well, come here after 2 months on that, and then we are going to talk again. So sometimes we put too much of artificial things, and we think that we need to do something too much on the trainer side. Yeah, I feel sorry for some guys with the trainers. I mean, I've never seen someone so obedient. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more. And I say, my goodness, if I say something to a client like that, they will beat me. But you do, and people go on that, and this okay, but can you live with that? I'm not sure. Some people, is good for some people for a while, but I mean, we can have fun and do exercise, so that's my point. So there are several other things that you can do that you enjoy. Have time to relax, muscle relaxation, massage, good book, nature, so it's good. Let's enter. This computer is not helping me. Okay, I'll press on the arrow here. Let's go to the main issue, humor. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is a gift from God. Use it. So why we don't laugh too much and then the babies laugh? So why is that kids are more open to laugh, and we are so close to that? We are so close to the idea that we could have a good laughter. And so if a good laughter will improve your lungs, your heart function, your immune system, your circulation, and then we should put more humor in our lives. And that's what Norman Cousins was the first guy that figured out that. And he improved. He had a disease called ankylosing spondylitis. It was a kind of arthritis, and then there was no treatment, and the chance of recovery was 2 in 1,000. And then he said, "Well, I'm gonna go for other things." So he started taking vitamin C, and he started changing his diet. But one thing that he was doing was watching I don't know how to say that, the Three Stooges, the Three Stooges and Candy Camera and those things, and he was comedy, and he was in the hospital, and then all of a sudden he was giggling like this baby, and all of a sudden the other patients start complaining. Well, who is this crazy guy here? And I mean, watching all of these crazy movies while we are in a serious business of healing here. What happened that he got better, and his sedimentation rate was decreasing. That is decreasing inflammation rates, and then after 1 year, he was able to play the piano and play tennis again. So was one of the first that found out that there is some advantage on laughter. Humor will affect the right side of the brain and give a wider perspective of things that we can laugh at ourselves and balance your depression. So you can be as depressive as you can, but if you see a good joke, I mean, you will laugh, and there is no way. And so this will, it will release dopamine and serotonin in the brain, that the same substance that the drugs are releasing. You can have just with a smile. So it releases muscle tension, decreased resting heart rate, blood pressure, anxiety, increase endorphins, improve immune system, increase overall sense of well-being. What are the lessons that we should do? Then, in the past, people used to laugh 15 times per day in 1978. I don't know how they got this statistic, but either way, I mean, how many times we laugh per day now? It looks like it's 17 times per year that we are laughing if we do. So we should put more laughter in our lives, no doubts. And one of the secrets is to get a dog. So this is my dog. His name is Wookie. He's a gray Chihuahua. He's a mix of Italian Greyhound and a Chihuahua. If you know about that. Well, he is a Chihuahua and with big legs. So, anyways, and then if you do so for him, he will not move on that. I mean, he said, "No, this is not kind of clothes that I should be wearing around. So don't do that to me." No, my wife. So it was her fault. Find one humorous thing a day. Life is full of laughable moments, and then adopt a humorous frame of mind. This is important. And so this is a lecture. I mentioned that I used to work in China, and I worked there during the SARS epidemic. And then I used to give a lot of lecture on the immune system. And then I invented this device, because we should not put our hands on our mouth and our nose and our ears and our eyes. And then I said, okay, so if we have a box, I made a box, and so we should be walking with those things. And then it's hard for us to... Well, I didn't do a patent on that, and so I... improve your imagination. Write a story. Play with kids. Play with kids. You know, I have a couple of friends. I have relatives. And I have one granddaughter of 3 years old and have one grandson with 3 months. And more my students. And the person that I can really laugh freely with any things like, hey, shut up, oh, quiet down, don't laugh too high, is my granddaughter. I go with her and see if I laugh, we just laugh, and then and she starts There is no reason for that. It's just So, you see, play with kids. I mean, this is something that we should do more. Start a joke cartoon collection will be good. In your bulletin, create a bulletin board with laugh. So let's see if I can put this video here. So this is very funny. Many of you already know that, but I'm glad that I'm in Southern California. Okay. He still didn't believe on that. Oh, come on. Sometimes when we talk to people, and it's good to hyper-exaggerate things, like I'm so hungry that I could eat even wood chips. And he was so ugly that the word ugly in the dictionary is followed by his picture. The house is so big that he has a GPS. He needs a GPS to move around. Build a library, I already mentioned about that, and humorous book and humorous artifacts, and assess your humor network and find a humorous friend. That is the life of the party. If you are not, I have this, one of my students, his name is, well, I will not say his name, but he's the guy that if you are with him, you will laugh. Sometimes you will laugh at him, with him, and off him, or whatever, but it's something that is important for us to have, someone that is. So if your friends, and that's a thing about friends, if your friends are moody and low, and so you are going to be moody. And we go far. If your friends do not exercise, you will not exercise. If your friends are all obese, sorry, but you might go there. So you have to start selecting. I will not say change your friends. I will not say change your friends. I didn't say this word here. Find other or add friends, okay? Add more friends that has a little more upper view of life. Make fun of, that's important. I was always in the humor thing, and I was always that, but I was making fun of other people, and I got in big trouble with that. So in your humor, make fun of yourself and make fun of life, but when you put somebody else down, and that's not good. You create more enemies than. I was in a church. I go to the Caribbean several times, and I was in a church talking about stress management. The pastor was there. The pastor was a funny guy. And then he said, "Hey, doctor, how about humor? Can we be humor?" And then I look at him, and I look at the church, and I say, "Oh, am I in trouble here now? How can I answer that?" And then I answer like that, and I say, humor is the best thing, but not at the cost of somebody else. So do whatever you can do to have fun, but don't put people down with that. His race, his color, his language is. So when you do so, you create an enemies, and you might have fun for yourself, but it is not going to last. It's not going to last. Anyways, I think I finished this part. Don't show this picture to my boss. And we have another video that is making the transition between humor and music. Victor Borga was a.
Start to concentrate over the flash. Cameras up in position, please. It's 5 minutes, Mr. Borga. 5 minutes.
What was that again?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. My throat is so dry. Could I have a spot of tea or something?
Last one.
Yeah, and listen, I am to play this waltz. I haven't played it for 20 years, and I finally realized that I'm terribly nervous. I want to play it.
So we still got 5 minutes to go.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Hey, you make me practicing.
Oh, this is my wife's favorite piece.
Is it really? Yeah, this is mine too, I can assure you.
It's a lovely piece.
Thank you.
Mr. Morgan, can I just take your makeup?
Check my what?
Take a look at you.
Oh, I like to look at you too.
Try it. There we go. Oh! I'm
Look what you did now. Isn't that a shame?
sorry. That's Mum's favourite waltz.
Is it? You haven't played it either, but I'm now you know how difficult it is. It's that finger here, you know.
3 minutes, Mr. Morgan.
3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Mr. Morgan. Oh, your key, Mr. Morgan.
Do you by any chance play the piano?
No, I don't.
Good. You're the only one in this outfit who doesn't, because everybody, and they all play the song. I'm supposed to play this. It's a very difficult piece, and I haven't played it for years, you know, this thing with the right hand. And I think I have to change because it is so difficult because there's...
It looks very difficult piece.
Look, you should try to play it, my God.
Opus 64.
Opus 64, Chopin.
Ah, that's my sister's favorite
Is it
tune.
really? How long time do we have now Pardon?
1 minute.
When you have chewed out, how many?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah,
Thank
could
you
you
very
stand
much.
by, please?
Yeah. But do you think that I can change? Can I change
Could I have
this
your
again?
autograph, please, Mr.
Beg your
Morgan?
pardon?
Could I have your autograph?
Do we have time for this?
Well, I have 1 minute.
What's your name? What's your name?
Michael.
How do you spell that?
M-I-C-A.
Out.
So those things are available online, okay? Just Google Vitor Borga, and we have several things. But combining music with humor is something very important. So we go to the next session, music. I know my time is let's keep 10 more minutes, okay? And so Norman Cousins again, talking about Pablo Casals and Albert Schweitzer, how they use music to soften their soul until old age. Probably was the secret of their longevity. And I have a great-grandfather that was a great uncle that died with 99 years old, 3 days before completing 100 years old. And he was the musician. He would play violin, the harmonica, and all the instruments he would play. So I think was his secret there. Music is important to decrease depression, stress, anxiety. They have used music for, well, this is not that important. It looks like the lyrics are not that important too, is the sound. And then we should have a music session we will do in the end. Maybe we have time for that. But the music thing is like, it should be a music that you like, and should be something that you relax. But I would tell you one more thing. You are in the stress level, and you need to de-stress. So I'm not gonna sing for you. What I'm gonna sing, maybe I have to move for this. This time, yeah, it's bad. What I'm gonna tell you is that to play a musical instrument, to learn how to play a musical instrument, is something that is getting to the science now as the one thing that activates all the areas of the brain. Think about that. I'm not a musician, but I like to play. And then I just tell you that please put more music in your life. Learn to play something. I mean, maybe guitar is not good for some of you because it needs a little more technical, but a piano or whatever it is, a flute, whatever. Put more music, try to learn more things. If you are under stress, you need to have a relaxing thing, and this might be something for you. So I will ask you to sing a little bit about a Negro spiritual that is called I've Got Peace Like a River. I've got peace like a river in my soul. So let's do that together for a while, just for a... I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Do you know that the slaves used to sing that song while they have bad bosses around? So it was a way that they had to cope with the stress. So if we have bad bosses around, can we have peace like a river? It's not easy, but then we go to the next subject. They put their minds into the eternal life, the eternal situation, put the things in God's hands, and they create one of the best musics, at least in my opinion, the Negro spirituals, the blues, and all of these songs that are marvelous, created during periods of anxiety and stress. So we should put more on that, and we should know more of those histories and put more in our life. So the session of music is gone. So I was just finished with Rockefeller's story is one that you should not miss. He was born in 1839, and in 1879 he has 90% of the oil companies in the United States, and he was the richest man alive with 50 years old. But in 1891 he almost died with a big stress burnout. And he went to a place to recover. That was the Battle Creek Sanitarium. Dr. Kellogg was the doctor there. This was a 7-day Adventist institution in Battle Creek, Michigan. And he went there. He spent time there. And they do lifestyle modification there with diet and exercise and nature and air and pure air and things like that. And then he was not that impressed with the lifestyle. I will let me see here. I don't have that the lifestyle, but he was impressed with one thing that is called service, and he feel that the people are working there are helping the others that have trouble, have distress, have anxiety, and then this got an impression on his heart. And he saw the history of Jesus Christ and said, always giving, giving, giving. And he decided to be a philanthropist. So on that time, he had $900 million. When he died, he created Rockefeller Foundation that is giving money until today. And he died poor with $26 million only. But he lived up to 97 years old. So I think the point is here is this one. This one. So sometimes we concentrate in ourselves, and we think that the whole world is in our minds, is ourselves. And we don't figure it out that there are other people that have much less than we have, that we could somehow help or reach or do something. So when we involve helping the ones around us, in our family, in our neighborhood, or whoever, wherever, we detach ourselves, and then we have more balance to control stress, and I believe that's the main message here. So please, many people depend on you. Many people look up to you, and then. If you just think about yourself and it's me and my situation and how come this happened to me? Well, we are in an unfair world. But God sees those things. And our life is not just this life here. We have hopes that one day we have a better life. So that's the spiritual part of that. So if we have this hope and we live with people that we can help, stress is going to be much more manageable than it is without that. Okay? Thank you very much.